Hello and welcome, this is Fun, and today we're playing Aeon's End against Prince of Gluttons on Extinction mode. Extinction mode is a game mode, the hardest game mode officially. 10 more life for the Nemesis, 2 less for the mages and 5 less for Gravehold. So 25 for Gravehold, 8 for mages and 80 life for Prince of Gluttons. As well, we'll be playing on increased difficulty. So for Prince of Gluttons, usually with the setup, we'll set up a devour pile with the 3 gems from the most expensive and up to the least expensive on top. You can buy from this devour pile as if it was a supply pile. On top of that, we'll have the increased difficulty, where we'll place additional 9 cards from any of the supply piles on top of the devoured pile in any order. We have constructed the devoured pile, so we have the 3 gems on bottom. Then we have 2 more gems that we don't think we'll be buying early game. On top of that, we have some spells, as we'll be buying them throughout the game, but we have to devour something. And then on top of it all, we have 2 burning opals because we wish to buy them early in the game, where before it devours, hopefully, so we can buy them directly on top of the devoured pile. It has a specific minion that takes the devour's relics specifically, so we want to leave them out of the way as well. They are also the cheapest stuff in the, together with Searing Ruby, in the supply pile, so we want to keep them for later. We have chosen Lash and Adelheim together with this specific setup because we have a specific aim we want to go for, and that is to rush Arcane Nexus. So the idea is that we buy either Searing Ruby or Burning Opal on our second or first turn. Then on the third turn we get it into hand with 4 other crystals, and then we buy Arcane Nexus, and then we get to draw Arcane Nexus together with one of the big gems for our 4th turn. This cannot be set up just naturally. So what we want to do is that Adelheim helps Lash draw 1 extra card, which is what he needs to both get to draw Arcane Nexus together with a big gem. So having this set up for turn 4 is success. Both players having it is double success, and if none of them gets it, it's a fail. So this is where Burning Opal comes into play, because the ally can then discard a card to let the ally draw another card. So this means that it will become more successful, where Adelheim can help Lash be set up, and then Lash can afterwards double use Burning Opal on Arcane Nexus, get 6 Aether from it, discard 2 crystals, and still have enough Aether in hand to buy the next card, which can be Consuming Void or Wildfire Whip and Oblivion's Well, depending on where we are in the game. So Amethyst Shard. Gain 1 Aether, any ally may draw a card and then discard a card in hand. So this is the end, helps us cycle through Lash's deck early on. Lash has Quartz Shard. Gain 1 Aether, reveal the top card of the turn order deck. You may place that card on the bottom or on the top of the turn order deck. If you reveal the player turn order card, gain an additional 1 Aether. So this helps him getting 5 Aether in his starting hand with the 3 other crystals plus 2 from Quartz Shard, which is what he needs to get Burning Opal. If he only sees Nemesis turn order card, he just buys Searing Ruby. And also on top of that, the first effect, we can choose who to go next, which is really important on the second round, so we can get Adelheim always to go when we need him to. Well, not always, but more often. So the rest of the setup is Searing Ruby. This helps us getting spells if we cannot get Burning Opal. Burning Opal is the aim, draw through the decks, help the allies to cycle through their deck. Clouded Sapphire, late game's gem. The chart is really nice, and the cost is what we're really aiming for, as we have 1 Oblivion's Well as we go on later. The 2 relics are really not important. They just are 4 costs, so they are together with Searing Ruby as being really cheap, and thereby we can have more flexibility in which cards we devour. Oblivion's Well, while prep, once per turn during your main phase, you may gain 1 Aether, and then cast, deal 2 damage. You may discard a gem in hand. If you do, deal additional damage equal to the gem's cost. So this is really nice with Cloud Sapphire. We can just deal 8 base damage plus 1 from Breach 3 or 4. This is late game damage. And then we have Wildfire Whip. This helps us getting the spells through our deck really fast, as we can just prep it immediately and then use it. While prep, during your main phase you may spend 2 Aether to cast any player's prep spell. Cast, deal 4 damage. So on top of it, helping with Oblivion's Well. Oblivion's Well already pays half of its own cost to get off with Wildfire Whip, which is really nice. We have Consuming Void. Cast, destroy up to 2 cards in hand, deal 3 damage for each card destroyed this way. Which is really nice because we don't really want to buy a lot of cards. So Consuming Void is here to thin out our deck, so we can just use what we do buy very efficiently. And Oblivion's Well is there for late game damage when Consuming Void has used up all of its resources, used up all of your bad cards. And Wildfire Whip is often going to be the third spell buy after Arcane Nexus and Consuming Void. Wildfire Whip helps you using Consuming Void more often. And Arcane Nexus, while prep, once per turn during a main phase, you may return a gem you played this turn to your hand. Cast, deal 4 damage. So this helps us give a lot high economy when we need it for the mid game, so we can get to buy the spells that we really want when we want them. So the weakness of this setup is that it takes a long while to get set up. Arcane Nexus plus a big gem to buy your first damaging spell, so to speak, is first on turn 4 if it's set up successfully. That means you'll first have it into hand on turn 5 and then use it on turn 6. So all minions from tier 1 is gonna go through and have a chance at least once or twice, maybe even 3 or 4 times, to have their Unleash effect apply. So that's the weakness. As we come to the mid game, getting Consuming Void together with Wildfire Whip, you just blast it off so many times that minions don't have a chance, as long as they don't go 4 or 3 times in a row. Alright, Adelheim will be playing as player 2 and Lash will be playing as player 1. We'll be making a separate video for this Arcane Nexus rush that we're going for, as it's quite complex and there's a lot of variables to go into it.
The setup will be double successful a third of the time, half of the time it will be successful, while a sixth of the time it will be a failure. It is of course dependent on how you play it, as there are safer variants.
It can be more higher success rate, but with a lower double success rate, depending on how risky you take it. There's also another variable that's a lot more consistent with Draxler and Lash. But I will go over that in a separate video. For this video, we'll be rigging the turn order deck to make sure that we will be double successful, to showcase the strength of this setup. We have proven that it is very able to deal with Nemesis, even under non-optimal conditions, both against Prince of Gluttons and against Rageborn. And let's us get going. Nemesis will be starting with Fort Biter, Persistent. Any player suffers 2 damage, or devour 2 relics from the least expensive relic supply pile. So this is really bad, as we see that really early on. Has 6 life. Sorry. And then the next Nemesis, and I will just suffer 2 from that. Next card. Devour 2 cards from the second most expensive gem supply pile. Any player suffers 2.
I will be prepping Spark, checking the player card, so I have 5 in total, and I will buy Burning Opal.
Me, and I just have 3 Aether from Amethyst Shard and 2 crystals, and then I can double prep Spark by opening my second breach. Right, we have me again, and I have 5 Aether, so can I have a Burning Opal? Thank you.
I'll use the Spark so I can have space for the other 2. 3 Aether to open this breach, and then prep both Sparks.
Alright, so as it is, we would prefer it to be this way, So this is double successful. I think the other one is also a variation that is double successful, but I don't quite remember at this point. Don't have the notes on it right now. Right, so Lash goes first.
I'll check.
Yeah.
It's a player card, so I have 3, 5, 8.
Yes.
So I can.
So you discard one on Burning Opal.
Yeah.
So that makes me draw a card. So this way I will be double successful because my deck is now so thin. So even when I buy Arcane Nexus, it will be in my fourth hand together with Burning Opal.
And I'll buy Arcane Nexus.
Yes. Here you are. Right. And it's me. And I will not be letting my partner draw a card on Burning Opal because that way my deck will be too thin, too thick. So I'll just buy Arcane Nexus. Oh yeah, you can draw a card and then discard a card on Amethyst Shard. Alright. So now I have the combo double Arcane Nexus, Arcane Nexus to double use Burning Opal. So I'll just use one spark to take 4 fighter, prepping Arcane Nexus, double using Burning Opal, discarding 2 crystals to let my partner draw 2 cards, and that way they will be double successful. And with the 7 Aether, I'll be buying Consuming Void. Alright, and that damage from my spark earlier. Alright. Should we devour? Yeah, I think we should devour at this point.
Yeah.
We're just blasting stuff. Oh, devour 2 relics, sorry. Not 3, so. Power 3. The player with most prep spells suffers 2 damage for each of their prep spells. That's quite unfortunate with Arcane Nexus prepped. Let's take 2 another from blasting stuff. Then we can buy focusing up later on if we need it. This goes down to 2. Unleash, Gravehold suffers 3, so let's take 3 Searing Rubies. Alright.
So I'll cast 2 sparks.
Taking this down to 2 life.
Tap Arcane Nexus and another spark. Check. It's a player card.
That's
so,
nice.
Yeah. I'll be double using Burning Opal, giving me 6. Discarding 2 cards.
I'll draw good cards.
And then I have Crystal, that's 7, and 2 on this one, so that's 9.
Yeah.
And I'll buy Consuming Void and the charge.
Pleasant. Alright. So it's me. I think I'm actually going to use my Arcane Nexus to deal 4 damage to 4 fighter, taking it off, just to get rid of it, and then another damage to Prince of Gluttons to not take too much damage on bleed static in case that comes up. You can draw a card and discard a card on Amethyst chart. I have 3, 4, still have 6 Aether. I'll get my Wildfire Whip.
Alright, I'll use 1 spark. I will prep it.
Yeah.
And then I have 4 plus 1, so 5 in total. And I think I'll buy 2 charges.
That's me again. Well, I'll definitely use that one, deal with that 1 damage. 77. That bleed static is really infuriating right now. Because I want to prep Consuming Void, but on the other hand I really don't. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to take 2 damage on Arcane Nexus. If that comes up, double using Burning Opal, discarding 2 crystals to let you draw 2 cards. And then I have 6 Aether, which is going to be a Cloud of Sapphire. And then keeping Consuming Void in hand.
Alright. So yeah, it's going to be Nemesis twice. So I'll get rid of my spells now.
Yeah.
I'll deal 5 damage.
Yeah.
Actually, you are not going. I can keep Arcane Nexus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just
So
one.
just one. Yeah. Double using Burning Opal. Next card is Nemesis. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9.
You can discard 2 sparks on Burning Opal if you want.
I will.
Letting me draw 2 nice crystals.
Yes. I will keep for Consuming Void in hand to avoid damage.
Yeah.
And with 9, I can just charge myself with 4. And then I have 5 remaining, which is a focus. Should we just shuffle me in?
I think it's better to just do 2 damage instead of risking taking more damage on the bleed static.
Oh, because of, okay, if I go in the middle and then I'll prep. Yeah, alright, then let's just keep going.
Okay, bleed static goes down to 1. Any player suffers 3 or devour 3 spells from any supply pile. So the next card, we already got some Wildfire Whips, but I still think either that or Oblivion Swell, because we cannot really take more damage as it is right now.
Yeah, I can go for Aether, to be honest.
Yeah. No, because Wildfire Whip will be emptied this way, so I think it's better to go for Oblivion Swell.
I forgot to discard my hat.
Alright. And then the second. So one of us takes 2 damage.
I can take it.
And then we have Banesire, Persistent Unleash. That's really nice to see that late, I suppose. If I go next, I can at least take it off. Due to Wildfire Whip and Consuming Void.
It's me. So I have 5 Aether, which is enough to get Oblivion Swell. And I am prepping Consuming Void. And I want to be shuffled back in, I guess. Oh, I have already not that much life, to be honest.
Yeah, but I still think it's worth it.
Yeah, then let's do it.
Because that makes it more likely that we'll get to take Banesire off. Alright. Yeah, okay, never mind. So Unleash, so the cheapest, which gonna be focusing on. Alright, new card. Venomite. Alright, so we're in for beating already. Has 9 life. Persistent. The player with the lowest life suffers 2 or any player discards prep spell that costs 3 or more. So that's quite rough. But I believe we have some level of damage to take care of it with. If it doesn't go twice in a row. Alright, so first Unleash. I think I'm just gonna take Searing Ruby this time. And then, for each card that Prince of Gluttons cannot devour, Gravehold suffers 2 damage, so that's 4 cards that cannot be devoured. So down to 18. Alright, the player with lowest life suffers 2. I think we have to discard a spell. Prep spell, so I'm gonna discard Arcane Nexus.
Alright.
Alright, a new card. Guard Feeders. 8 life. Persistent Gravehold suffers 3 damage, devour a gem from the most expensive gem supply pile.
At least it's out of the way.
Yeah, I suppose so. Alright, me. I'll prep Wildfire Whip and Consuming Void, and then I'll use an Amethyst Shard and a Crystal. You can draw a card and then discard a card, so you have 2 Aether to use Consuming Void with. So that will be a Spark and a Crystal to destroy, and that's 6 damage to Banesire, I think. I just think we need to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And leaves me with 1 Aether I'm not gonna use for anything.
Okay, it's me. I'll destroy 2 sparks to deal 6 damage.
I think Venomite is.
Yeah.
Because right now, player life is the most scarce resource we have.
Then I'll prep a spark, and double using Burning Opal I have 6, 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a charge and wildfire whip.
Yeah. There you are. Alright, you again?
Yeah, I'm just thinking
Okay.
if I should just use Arcane Nexus to take Venomite off.
I think that might
Yeah,
be worth it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's what I will do. Does it make a difference if I deal 1 damage to God Feeders?
No, because I'll maximum be able to deal 5 damage next
Alright.
time. Oh wait, it does. Give me a second. Oblivion's will only deal 2 damage. If I spend 2 Aether, I'm gonna have 2 Aether to deal 4 damage after that. So that's only gonna be 7 damage anyway.
Yeah, alright.
Never mind.
So I'll keep it. Prep this.
Just off the mark.
Right, I have 4 plus 1, so 5. But I'll just use it to open this.
Yeah. Right. And then it's me, and I'll just leave Wildfire Whip prepped, so I have it for later with Consuming Void. I'll focus my 4th breach and prep my spark in a 2nd breach.
It's me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to use Oblivion's Swell and discard a Burning Opal, dealing exactly 7 damage.
Mm. And then
which
another
is 8,
one with
then
spark.
one with spark. Yeah. Good, now I'm going to prep Consuming Void and Wildfire Whip. And I have 2, so I'll just buy a charge.
Yeah. Because yeah, she could use Wildfire Whip with a 2 Aether from hand, but then she wouldn't have any cards to use Consuming Void with. Well, that's quite nice. Seravage. Yeah, okay. Persistent devour card equal this minion's life from one supply pile, then this minion suffers 2 damage. So if that one goes twice in a row, it's quite bad. I hope to go next, or you to go next. Yeah. So I'm gonna use Wildfire Whip dealing 4 and then Spark dealing 1 another. So that's down to that's 5 damage. So it survives with 2, which is not too bad. Prepping Arcane Nexus and Consuming Void. Just using each of them once. Actually, on Burning Opal, I'm gonna discard Amethyst Shard to let you draw 1 card. And give you 1 charge on Clouded Sapphire, double using 1 of them. That's 9 Aether. So that's opening my 4th breach, which is where Consuming Void would be prepped, and then give my 1st charge.
It's you again?
I'm gonna use Consuming Void, destroying 2 crystals, dealing 7 damage to Nemesis. And I'm gonna use Arcane Nexus to take off Searing. Right, dealing with 3 Aether, so that's just my 2nd charge. Okay, that's quite nice. If it's a minion, no. Unleash twice and Gravehold suffers 3, or place the most recently discarded minion card and Nemesis discard bar back into play. And I think since you have Consuming Void for 7 damage,
Yeah, sure.
getting Searing in is quite, like, it slows us down and taking down Prince of Gluttons, but it's just a minion that we can take care of now.
Yeah, I'll destroy 2 crystals with Consuming Void, dealing 8 damage. 7 damage.
Yeah.
Prep Arcane Nexus. Shuffle this to check. It will be
You
Nemesis.
can put it down on the bottom if you want. But
I do, actually, yeah. Okay, so I have 2.
and you can use it once more.
And yeah. Nemesis again. Yeah, I think let's
let's
not
just
have
see
2
it.
Nemesis
Yeah.
at the bottom, yeah.
It's too risky.
Yeah, so I have 4 Aether, which I'll use to charge myself. I guess.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Just on mine or your next turn.
Yeah.
We can shuffle ourselves in again. Alright, so it's Nemesis, and we see power 1. Gravehold suffers 18 damage. That the players may collectively discard up to 6 gems. For each gem discarded this way, prevent 3 of that damage. Well, yeah, we still haven't destroyed our whole deck, so we will still have some crystals to deal with that.
Alright. I'll prep a spark, spend 2 Aether to cast it with Wildfire Whip, dealing 2 damage to Nemesis. Then I'll prep Oblivion Swell. Now I'm double using Burning Opal with Arcane Nexus, giving me 6, which is exactly what I want.
Yes, dude. Yeah, that's what you do. You again?
Alright. I actually happen to have just exactly 4 cards, so if I use Oblivion Swell, I will be able to use it with Clouded Sapphire on the next turn anyway. Yeah. So I'm just going to use it maybe with a crystal, depending on...
No, because it won't deal any extra damage.
Oh yeah, because it's cost, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just dealing 3 damage to Nemesis. And then I will prep Consuming Void. Actually, before I prep it, I'm going to check, and it's you, so I get 2 extra Aether. So yes, I'm going to prep Consuming Void. I am going to use 2 Aether from this one to use it with Wildfire Whip, destroying 2 crystals. And then I'm double using Quartz Shard, so I have another 2 Aether. But
you could shuffle yourself in.
Yeah, and buy a charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, of course. Alright, I can discard 3.
Can discard 2 or 4, or like 3 as well. I can discard 3.
Can I then keep Clouded Sapphire? We might take a lot of damage to Gravehold later on because of all the devouring and leftover cards that cannot be devoured. So
you can keep the Clouded Sapphire, I think. So
yeah, okay.
It's just 3 damage.
Yeah. Gravehold goes down to 15. And new card. Mind Guzzler. Immediately set this minion's life equal to 8 plus the number of empty supply piles, so that's 1. So that's 9 life in total. Persistent Unleash. Me. Prepping Wildfire Whip. And a Spark over here. Having Cloud Sapphire giving you 1 charge. And that's 3 Aether. So that's just a focus. Or is it? No, I want to charge up. Me.
I can take Mind Guzzler cleanly.
Yeah, and so can I.
Okay.
So I'll use Spark to deal 2 damage to Mind Guzzler. Wait, no, I can't. You can deal 9 damage.
I can deal.
I can deal 9 damage too. Yeah. Prepping Consuming Void. Okay, so and Arcane Nexus. If I use W's Burning Opal, that will be 6 Aether. Yeah, and I have to do that. I can't let you draw cards, so I'm just going to destroy 2 crystals and Consuming Void, dealing the other 7. So plus the 2 Spark from Spark earlier. And I have 4 Aether left over, so that's charged all the way up to... I only need 1 of them. But where can I use 2 other Aether? I can't really. Unless I want to use your Spark. I'm going to spend 2 Aether on Wildfire Whip to deal 2 damage to Prince of Gluttons with your Spark. And that's all.
Alright, for my turn I will prep Oblivion Swell, use Clouded Sapphire to give you a charge, and use Wildfire Whip with Oblivion Swell. Now I'm getting Clouded Sapphire back and using it to deal damage.
Yes.
So that's 8 damage.
46. Almost halfway. And we have taken care of all the Nemesis specific minions. Unleash twice. The player with the most prep spell discard the most expensive prep spell. Alright, so first devours twice, so that's the 2 that cost 4, and that's 3 cards in total that cannot be devoured. So that's 6 damage. Leaving it with 9. And then play with most expensive prep spells. So one of us has to discard Arcane Nexus.
The most expensive. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I can use it.
All right.
Alright. Wow. Unleash twice, any player suffers 2, and I can just use my power to
Nice, yeah.
not see that happening. So, you.
Okay. I'm going to prep Consuming Void. Check this. It's a player card.
Yeah, it's gone twice in a row, so.
True. Okay, so double using Burning Opal, that's 6, 7, 8, and I will be destroying those. So I used to use Consuming Void immediately, destroying those 2. Then I have 8, which is a Focusing Orb.
Do you have 8?
Yeah.
You spent 2 on Wildfire Whip?
Yes, I have 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's charge.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to go for.
Yes.
Though I think I'm the most healthy, so I might have to be the one to benefit from it. Alright. I'll prep a Spark. With Cloud Sapphire you gain a charge. An Amethyst shard lets you draw a card and then discard a card. That's quite nice. 3, 4, 5, 6. I kind of want to have that Oblivion's well. Yeah, I need that for damage. Alright. You.
Nice. Probably even swell. Destroy this to give 3 life to Gravehold.
Can be a bit more healthy.
And I'll be double using Clouded Sapphire, so you get in 1 charge from the first use, and I have 6. And with that 6, I'll use 2 for Oblivion Swell, 1 for a charge, I guess. So I'll charge myself up. Use this with Clouded Sapphire.
Dealing 9.
Yes, dealing 9.
And you can use your ability.
Yeah, to shuffle you.
Yeah. And since I'm also next, we just don't want to bother. And I suffered that 1 life. Alright. Finally I get to go twice, 3 times. 1 round. Alright, I'll deal 2 damage with the Spark. Getting really close. Prepping Arcane Nexus here. Going for Oblivion's Swell over here. Giving you 1 charge with Clouded Sapphire, getting it back into hand with Arcane Nexus, and then getting 1 Aether from Oblivion's Well, spending 2 to use it with Clouded Sapphire, dealing 9 damage. Wait. Yeah.
Was on 30 at the very beginning. Yeah. Then 2 with a Spark, and yeah.
Yeah. Right, and then I can prep Consuming Void. And I had 2 left over from the Cloud Sapphire, and then 3 with Burning Opal. So actually, I think we can win this round. So 2 Aether, I'm gonna spend 4 Aether to blast off your Arcane Nexus and Wildfire Whip, dealing 8 damage. There we go. And I go again. And so, let's see how this works out. Alright, I have 7 damage Consuming Void by destroying 2 cards. And then I have 8 damage more. Okay, yeah, that's plenty. Destroying 2 cards and Consuming Void. And then 8 damage more. Overkill.
Yes.
Right, as you can see, it's very volatile in the early game. We almost, all the damage we took and so on was from the first tier 1, and then we had some struggle with tier 2 where we had to use our Arcane Nexus, which is not optimal. You really want to keep it prepped so you can keep on double using your gems and so on to have the economy to go with it. On top of that, we had a really I really hate this power card from tier 1 because it's, especially against setups like this where you want to keep spells prepped, it makes it so volatile and extreme to use. But as you can see, we overcame that time, the issues that we had in the early game, and were able to get some really good spells and with Wildfire Wave and Consuming Void, and then it gives some really good finishes, and we just outside of tier 3, so winning before tier 3 is really nice as always. And I hope to get a video out soon. I'm working on it, going over Arcane Nexus Rush and the few variants that I have in mind of it, and going over the math so you can see how it works out. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you at some point in the future.